Hey there guys, it's time to jump right on back at it. So unfortunately I'm not quite to the point yet where we can move ahead with FM17. I'm a little bit behind on a bunch of other things, and I've got another video coming out actually on this channel tomorrow, a scripted video, so I look forward to that coming out. But before then, let's go ahead and relax a little bit and play a little bit. So this is a Japanese PC Engine game that you likely haven't played, Formation Soccer Human Cup 90. So I don't know very much about this series. I have not been able to find very much information out about it, other than I know that there are 3 versions of this for the PC Engine. There's this one from 1990, there's another one from 94, another one from 95. I also know that there were other versions of this game. Let me turn the sound on here. There we go. I also know that there were other versions of this game that came out on the Super Nintendo and so on throughout the series. But it's interesting because this game never was released outside of Japan. It's one of the many PC Engine games, by the way, that were never released outside of Japan. And the reason has a lot to do with the sort of stupidity behind what Hudson Soft was doing, outside of Japan and the United States and stuff like that. And I'm not aware that this game was ever released over in Europe, because I don't believe the PC Engine itself was ever released in Europe. So we'll do the best that we can with this game. It's kind of an early game, but it's got pretty impressive graphics for a game from 1990. So pretty cool to check out. This would have come out not long after the World Cup, I believe. And we've given up a goal already. This game came out April 1990s. Actually, it was a little bit before the World Cup. Now, I spent a bunch of time here kind of screwing around. I was looking to see if there was potentially going to be a way for me to get something like the old Euro 2000 on the PC working. I've been through probably, I don't know, a whole bunch of different sort of wine front ends and all sorts of stuff trying to get that to work here on my Linux computer. I can't get it to work at all on anything. Closest I got was a message telling me that some DLLs were missing. If you haven't used it before, we're gonna be crushed in this game, I know it. If you haven't used it before, wine can be very, very frustrating when you're on Linux, especially because unlike a lot of other Linux things, like there's not exactly like a lot of good advice on there out there as to what to do when something just doesn't work. You're just like, oh, it doesn't work. Who knows what you're supposed to do? Who knows what you're supposed to change around? It's particularly frustrating when you're trying to deal with old 32-bit programs, and that's where the problem comes in. A lot of this stuff is still geared these days towards using 64-bit Windows programs if you're trying to emulate it. So anyway, we'll see what we can come up with. I'm not going to guarantee, though, that we're going to be able to do that. There probably are a number of games that are going to be really hard for us to run in the future. And as far as this game is concerned, I'm not so sure about sort of what my review of this is. The funny thing is that the little bit that I read about it indicated that, oh, this is a pretty nice game because it offers a wide view of the field, but that doesn't seem to do us any good. So it might just be that I'm really bad at the game or something like that. That's probably the case. Nice human field. Okay. But I tend to think that this is just not a very good game. It's slow. It's like incredibly slow. And I mean, like, what was I supposed to do there? I mean, it's ridiculous. So anyway, this is going to be a lot of fun to see how many goals we can give up. That's basically what this is all about. I'm going to keep messing around with older games. I am very interested in trying some of these older games out. So Euro 2000, for example, also has a PlayStation version, which is not as good as the old PC version was. I used to own the PC version. In fact, it's probably still at my parents' house, which is one of the reasons why I want to give it a try. But the problem these days is that because we're on 64-bit everything, you have to figure out a way to get it to work 32-bit, and that's not necessarily so easy. So I think the other game I'm thinking of is Ultimate Soccer Manager. Is that the one where you can bribe? You guys have to go down and remind me of what these games are called. I think that's the one I finally did get working on my my Windows 7 installation through QEMU. It does work kind of, but it's really, really janky the way that it works. Yeah. Man, we're down 7-0. We can't stop anything. So it's going to be one of those days. So instead of worrying about this game, we're just going to have a little conversation about life, the world, and everything else. Anyway, I will get back to FM17 here soon. Like I said, I have a video coming out. We're probably going to talk about the word soccer after all of the angst and frustration that people showed over my most recent video where I said the cursed word. So that's probably what we're going to talk about next. Now, the problem with this game, by the way, is that I can't change the player that I'm controlling when I'm on defense. It's not very responsive in that sense. This is a really bad game. Maybe I wouldn't feel that way if I wasn't playing as Japan, but I mean, this is pretty much unplayable. And I'm still struggling to understand how that was any different from any of the goals that we gave up. It looked the same in the animation. Yeah. Wow. So I think I know why this game was never released in outside of Japan. This is pretty bad. I hate to like put it this way, but this game makes soccer for the NES look pretty good. Ten nothing. I'm wondering if maybe I have it set on like a difficulty setting or something like that. That might be what's going on. I don't know. Whatever it is, our automatic keeper is not doing a very good job. I'm very, very disappointed with the job that he's doing. I'm also disappointed that we have basically no midfield and we've given up another goal. So that's the name of the game today, which is how many goals can we give up? How bad is this going to be by the end? Well, if we do that, it doesn't really do any good for us, but at least it prevents us from giving up another goal, which is what we want to do. Oh, here I am. Yeah, this is pretty primitive. The graphics are nice. Right, it has pretty good graphics, I would say, for a game from 1990. That part is good. Everything else about this game is pretty bad. This is among the worst games that I've played. Like, I can't change my player. I can't change to the guy who's standing right next to the ball. I can't change to this defender, right? I can't do anything. I just have to stand there and take it. We're only down 11 goals at half, so that means that this means that we've got them where we want them. Imagine tuning in and seeing this. All right, we're gonna play with the sweeper. This will show him. Anyway, I had a feeling that that FM17 was going to take me a little while to get to where I wanted to go. Initially, I wanted to do more of like a Football Manager related video for this next one, but I completely ran out of time. It's been a little bit crazy around these parts, so that's kind of what's going on. And so here I am instead playing this really awful game. At some point in time, I do want to like catalog all of these old games that I've played and try to figure out like which ones are good, which ones are bad. We already know which ones are good, right? It's pretty obvious, right? You want to play, you know, ISS. You want to play like the old FIFA games, right? For the most part, that's kind of what you're looking at. You want to stay far away from anything that's like this. I mean, this game is just garbage level, man. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Wasn't I supposed to have a sweeper? Where's my sweeper? Alright, like all the formations are the same. It doesn't matter. And you know, you would think that a sport like this, it would be like not that hard to come out with a game that's like actually good. You would think that it wouldn't be that hard. right? You would think that, you know, it's a basic sport, it's a simple sport, there's not all sorts of extra stuff going on. You know, Japan had all of these baseball games. Baseball is a more complex sport and has all sorts of rules and things you have to worry about, right? This is just basically take the ball and move it up the pitch or back down, and we couldn't even do that right? It's okay that we have big sprites, I suppose, except that we can't see anything and there's no map, so you have no idea where your teammates are. But that's not the worst part of this game. The worst part of this game is that you can't change players, right? So like you have to just hope that the game gave you the right guy in the right place. Otherwise, you're kind of, you know, in trouble. Nothing's gonna work. I do think, and I think that I saw it mentioned somewhere as I was trying to find things about this game. I think that there might be like a difficulty setting or something like that. So we can check that out when we're done. Maybe we had this on the most difficult mode or something like that, and that might be part of the reason why. We haven't given up 11 goals yet in the second half, so we're doing a little bit better. It must mean I'm improving. But like the real problem with this game, honestly, is just that it is way too slow, right? And there's like this delicate balance, right? Remember we played World Cup USA '94 or whatever it was called, which is a really, really bad game. Part of the problem with that game is it's way too fast, and so like you're giving up goals left and right, and you don't even know what you're doing. Sensible soccer is kind of the speed that you want things to be at, except as we saw last time, it's not all that easy to play if you're playing with a keyboard. It's not really designed for that. That's the thing. You know, when I played this game, I realized that, you know, it was really designed to be an Amiga game. It was designed assuming that people had access to those old-style joysticks, which are not really that easy to get. And then the problem these days is that you're running it on DOSBox, and it's not like you have a whole bunch of options to run it there. So, anyway. So I can't remember if the TurboGrafx, I think it used like 1 and 2, sort of like the different Sega systems instead of A and B. As far as the controls are concerned, it seems that A does just about everything. I'm not sure what B does other than like kick the ball up in the air, right? Anyway. You know, the sound fidelity and stuff of this game is pretty good. It gives you, again, an idea of what the TurboGrafx or the PC Engine, there's the same system, what this system was capable of, but unfortunately, everything else about this game is just garbage. And I especially love the part where they know the magical place to shoot the ball so that my keeper can do nothing about it, right? That I just love. I love games like that, right? It reminds me so much of Mega Man Soccer, where the whole purpose of the game is to get the ball in a very specific place so that when you shoot it, you always make a goal. I know I was saying before that we could do a Mega Man Soccer project. Maybe we should. That'll give me something to play that's a little bit better than this. Oh man, we were doing better in the second half for a little while, but it looks like it's our luck is about to catch up with us. There we go. There we go. Maybe something good will happen. Oh, maybe it won't. Dude, if I can't change players, like, how in the world... How am I supposed to, like, make anything happen if I can't change players? I'm just sort of, like, you know, running around and... Anyway, this is not the worst soccer / football game that I've ever played, but this is up there. This is pretty bad. Like I said, I'm kind of surprised you can make a game like this bad, right? It's like you have to try to make it this level of bad. All right. It's impressive, you know, it's all in English. The Japanese accent's not really that heavy, right? These are arcade-style graphics, I'll be honest with you. You know, the sprites are good. They look pretty attractive, right? Only problem is that the game is just an absolute total piece of garbage. So 18-0, we lose. So much for that fair exhibition. Beyond your power. This was beyond my power. This game is beyond my understanding. So do I have to listen to this music or something? Like what's going on here? Okay, nothing is working. Maybe you're supposed to just restart? I don't know. This is weird. Alright, well, so you know, this is what the opening screens of the game look like. I'm just curious to know if there's like a way to change options or something like that. Or are you just stuck playing a really difficult computer? We go back through this again. There's a fair match. Yeah, no, there's no way to change any options. So, I guess that there's no difficulty setting. I must have read the wrong thing. So anyway, there you have it. That's the game that ends and tells you beyond your power and then plays a song for like 10 minutes. Yeah, this is garbage. This is garbage level. This is Slop. And I hope you enjoyed the Slop. This is a really bad game. Don't ever play it. Talk to you later.